Welcome.
Hi, I'm Bambi Banks Kool-Aid, and I've always loved to bake and learn new recipes, so I thought, why not have you over and let's try something new together. We have an extra special guest who's been isolating responsibly and visiting the Bambi Banks studio to show us how to make their cannabis-infused cinnamon rolls that will have everyone begging to be a part of your holiday party Zoom call to just watch you eat. If you tuned in last week, you met my friend and pastry chef Emily Sperlin and my dear sister Lucy Stool, who joined me to enjoy dessert and dish. Last week we learned about a new study showing that Illinois is third in the United States of large racial disparities in arrest of marijuana possession. If you missed our chat, open your phone camera and point here at the code on the screen. It's right here. You're probably thinking, didn't Illinois legalize recreational cannabis beginning in 2020? And you'd be correct. Illinois even decriminalized the possession of cannabis 2 years earlier in 2018, the same year this 20-year report concluded. So why are black people 7.5 times more likely than white people to be arrested for marijuana possession in Illinois? I shared last week's report with my friend Abhi, and they couldn't put it down. That's why I asked them to come over later for our bi-weekly book club. Oh my god, how did these get here? There's nothing I love more than curling up with a good read and a sweet treat on a frigid Chicago day. How about we make ourselves a snack before we sit down and get cozy? Just in time! Today's guest has been isolating for today's episode because their cinnamon roll recipe is so good they wanted to prove it to you in person. That's right. Ha! Please join me in welcoming MasterChef Season 10 contestant, Chef Micah Yaroch. Yes! Come on, Bambi Bakes, we did that.
Good morning, Bambi.
Thank you for being here so much. We are so happy to have you here at Bambi Bakes.
Absolutely, my pleasure, Bambi. I'm so happy to be able to just come here and share some of my baking knowledge with you. That way we can get the party started.
Micah, are you ready to show them what you can do?
Absolutely, girl. I've been ready. Let's do it.
Today we will need 3/4 cup of milk, 2 3/4 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of butter softened, 1/4 ounce of yeast, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of water, 1 egg, 1 cup of dark brown sugar, cinnamon, allspice, powdered sugar, and orange juice. And while Chef Micah is getting our infusion ready, I just want you guys to know, if you ever wanted to learn more about a recipe or a strain utilization on Bambi Bakes, visit movingstandard.co or just open your phone camera and aim it here at the open link in a separate window. It just open, like you click it and then you type it on your phone, you click, and then it just opens up on a different window. Wow, we are in 2020. That is crazy. So, Chef Micah, how's it going?
It's going good. So the next thing I need you to do for me is we're gonna fix up the rest of this dough mixture.
Okay.
So
Very much like dough. And so we're gonna add the 1/2 cup that we had left.
Yep.
Work. And then we're just gonna whisk it.
We're just gonna put it back on the machine, let it get fully incorporated.
Again, we're in 2020, everybody. Okay. Just put that in and just cut it off.
Make sure you lock it.
That's what I thought. I knew that.
And then turn it to like 2 on the other side.
Ah! Where's the 2? Girl, what are you talking about?
Yeah, so like there's little power settings so we don't send flour all over the kitchen.
I didn't see it.
Okay, so
we're making it happen.
The next thing we're gonna be doing, we're gonna make sure that we have our cinnamon sugar for the mixture for the butter with the infusion. And then while we wait, we can probably get our icing started.
Ooh, icing.
And then we're gonna take, not all of it, but a good majority. This is gonna be definitely more of a texture instead of a exact precise amount that we're looking for with this. So you're just gonna take your orange juice, get in maybe like 2 teaspoons, and then take the whisk and just start to incorporate it. And then, like you see it start to dissolve.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Powdered sugar is clumps together by itself, so you're really gonna want to make sure that you don't have any gross clumps. And I hear a machine doing strange noises, so I'm gonna go check that. Okay, so I think the dough's gonna be ready for us.
Dough.
Let's see how you're doing. Okay, so we're probably gonna want more powdered sugar.
Okay.
You definitely want it to be a little thicker. You don't really want that kind of clear icing that you see people do. Because, you won't get that nice drip down the side of the roll.
Oh, it's already looking kind of thick.
She needs to be thicker, though.
Oh, okay. I'm whispering as well as I can.
She's coming together, She'll get there.
Let's do it. It's looking so good, guys. I'm so excited.
So now our dough is starting to get ready. So we can set that aside because we're gonna have to roll this dough out.
Okay.
You're gonna want to make sure that your surface is lightly floured. So you don't really want a lot. You want to make sure that it's lightly coated. So now that we have the dough, it's definitely still a little loose, but that is what we want because now we're gonna knead it. Just a little bit of flour on the top.
Okay.
And then you're gonna take it and fold it into itself. This is all designed to create tension within your dough. So even though it may not be what you think you want it to be at the beginning, folding it and kneading it and just starting to, work it. If it's sticking to your hands, a little more flour.
It's looking good, guys.
But then once you start to see this like nice, smooth, texture, that's really what we're gonna want to look for.
That's the moment.
That is the moment.
That was fast.
It doesn't take much time. Dough is one of those things where if you just give it the attention it needs, she'll do what you want.
You're right.
So we're gonna pick this up, a little more flour, and then I'm gonna take this very lovely granite rolling pin.
Yes.
And we're just gonna roll the dough out to about 12 to 9 inches. Oh, this looks great. Yeah, this is exactly what we want.
I really killed that, guys.
Yeah, so much help. I
ate that. It was the mixer. It was the second time. With the flour, y'all remember.
If they don't, they can always go back and watch. So now that we have this nice to the size we want it, we're gonna get our little THC cinnamon sugar mix going.
Ooh.
So we have the lovely butter mixture.
Got the butter. The butter has the weed in it.
It does. THC is fat soluble, so you're always gonna want to pair it with like a coconut oil or like an olive oil. Not even soak up, it has to like attach itself to the lipids.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not actually gonna be able to like ingest it fully and properly.
Come on, science.
So this is our dark sugar and the spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice. I'll leave that up to y'all, whatever, however, what your spice level you're feeling. I always like a little bit more nutmeg and allspice in mine, but
some kick.
Some girls are different. You're gonna take this lovely warm mixture.
Oh, smells delicious.
And just pour her in.
Oh, wow.
And then we're gonna take a spoon and just kind of,
mix it up.
Mix it up. Fun fact, and I actually learned this at my job, but whenever you're baked with cinnamon, you usually have to add a little bit more yeast because cinnamon is antibacterial. So it kills the yeast when you cook with it. So whenever you're going to be using baking it into a bread, you have to add a little more leavener or starter so that it counteracts the antibacterial properties that cinnamon has. And that's part of the reason why we started using cinnamon in cooking is because it killed the bacteria in our food.
Yeah.
Back when we didn't have all that handy dandy science. So then we're just gonna take this.
Doesn't that look amazing, guys?
It's good if it's a little liquidy. That's what you want. That's all the goodness.
Okay. She loves it.
But if you get a little extra butter somewhere where you don't think it needs to be, just relax. It's butter.
It will not end the world, y'all. We eat butter all the time. Well, some of us do.
Some of us do. The rest, we can't all be skinny legends.
True.
Yeah. Whenever you heat up those spices and the oils start to release, it's just like that magical moment of yes, I made the right choice just now. Because who doesn't love fat and sugar?
True.
Together, working together.
So many ways.
So good.
It works.
All right, so now we're gonna just gently take this.
It's giving me pizza.
And just let it start to work. If it spills out, it spills out, y'all. But be aggressive with it.
So So make sure y'all have a clean station. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything is cleared off.
You really should have a clean station when you start to begin with.
True. Just very
gooey.
Wet and gushy.
Who likes a dry cinnamon roll?
True.
Not me.
Who is eating dry cinnamon?
So as you can see, it's very messy, but that is to be expected, y'all. We're just gonna let this sit. It has to proof for 30 minutes. So we're gonna cut it up, set it in our pre-greased trays, let them rise a little bit, and then we can bake.
Amazing. And that's how you make cinnamon rolls, everybody. While Chef Micah is getting that all done and prepared for us, we're gonna head over to the couch and start our book club with my friend, Abhijeet. And we're here.
Hello.
Everyone, please meet my friend, Abhijeet.
Hi, how are y'all? Bambi, thank you for having me at your book club.
Thank you so much. And you know what book we're reading today?
No, I do not.
The Book of Life.
Book of Life.
Yes. Abhi, tell me something about you. Are you a pothead?
So, you know, I'm like a little bit of a pothead because I really actually specifically love edibles. Because I love to eat, I love to dream, I love to sleep. Put those three together, that's an edible high.
Well, today we'll be giving you a little edible. It'll be a cinnamon roll from Chef Micah. I don't know if you heard of him. He was on season 10 of MasterChef.
A Master Chef.
Yes,
Wow.
chef.
That is sickening.
And this edible, though it won't put you to sleep, it will give you those good dreams, okay?
That's what I'm here for. Listen, you're my cinnamon roll. We're gonna eat cinnamon rolls.
Period.
This is the best book club I've ever been to.
So, you're from Mumbai, India, right?
Yes, I am.
So, what is weed culture like in Mumbai, India?
Well, like historically, like cannabis has been consumed in like India for like a very, very long time. Like the word ganja comes from like the Hindi word for like hemp and marijuana. So it's like been ingrained in the culture, but surprisingly, like most things, a lot of it changed when like the British like colonization was happening, and so currently marijuana is illegal in India. Well, it's partially legal, and I'll get to that. For the most part, it's illegal in India, and it's kind of wild because like it's always been a part of like Indian culture. So like for something that's like for so many centuries to be part of it to like now be illegal is kind of weird.
That is kind of wild.
Yeah. And what I was saying by like partially legal is because there's this thing called bhang. It's using like the seeds and leaves from like hemp, and it's like churned into like milk and stuff to make like desserts or like essentially like a smoothie or something like that, and it's used for certain festivals. So like that is like legal. But smoking it is like not, which is like again so weird.
Weird. It sounds delicious.
It's so good. It's
Have you
so
made it
good.
before?
I haven't made it, but I've had it on like those like festivals and stuff. Like it's sickening.
Look, not many of you know, but this one right here, she a little chef herself. She be cooking in the kitchen, Miss Mimosas and Samosas over here.
Listen, I love to cook. I love to eat. But for some reason, I suck at baking. So when you said you're doing a baking show, I was like,
I'm gonna let you do that. Speaking of, I think we got some cinnamon rolls coming over.
ooh.
Oh my gosh. Chef Michael with the cinnamon rolls.
Wow.
Thank you.
Of course.
That is gorgeous.
That is gorgeous. I don't.
Those are muffins. Those aren't even cinnamon
Right?
rolls
I was
at
like,
this
I don't
point.
even know how to eat this. This is so ooey gooey delicious.
What have you not done on this show?
It's so hard being me.
Wow. These?
Ooh, let me just
These are
get
sick.
into this real quick.
Listen.
Oh, it's so good, y'all.
Wow. These are probably like the best cinnamon rolls that I've ever had.
Chef Michael, you did that.
If I stop talking, it's because like I'm really enjoying the food. So enjoy the silence.
Okay. So I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about how there's racial injustice in the United States when it comes to marijuana use. Is there any like colorism issue when it comes to maybe cannabis charges in Mumbai? Do you know at all?
So I can't be like certain about that. So much of like anti-blackness is like tied to marijuana use. You probably can find links to in Indian to like casteism and like classism being tied to like marijuana use, where like people that are more like financially like privileged or like from like richer backgrounds and stuff can get away with a lot more than people who are poor or from a lower caste can, because like right now, like one of the biggest issues in India is casteism. For people who aren't familiar, the caste system was something that, like, again, like has existed for a long time, but got solidified as law during colonization. And the effects of it are like still seen today, where like people who are born into like a poorer background aren't like really given opportunities to like really rise out of it. So it's like, you know, if you're a child of like a day laborer or like a maid, that's just like that's kind of like what's expected. Like you would continue that, like just like from a young age to like, you know, just don't have equal like schooling opportunities. It's just like, yeah, it's like kind of upsetting. So like if you do, I'm sure like if someone were to like correlate like that to like any like marijuana fines and arrests, like you would probably see like a link.
Okay.
Yeah, and like things are definitely changing. There is like a lot more activism, and there are like a lot of like younger people like taking charge to make these changes. But like any systemic issue, it's gonna take like generations to overcome.
Well, okay, so you also grew up in Mumbai, and then you moved here around
in 2012 for school, like for freshman year of like college. I moved here.
And then you found me.
I did find you. We immediately became best friends.
So since we're best friends, can you tell me a story that I don't know, like your craziest story?
Okay.
Because I know them all.
So like a craziest story, funniest story. What do you want to hear?
Oh, I want it crazy, funny, cool, all of it.
Crazy, sexy, cool, baby. Well, you already know the story of how I passed out because of the cold.
I was there, yes.
You already know the other story of how I passed out because of the cold.
I too was there.
I passed out a lot because of the cold. So you know, let's put those aside. Oh, I should tell you about my first spring break. So my first spring break ever, because spring break is not a thing in India. It was in spring 2013, and I got tickets to go to New York City.
Word!
I don't know why I picked that for spring break.
Why not?
I don't know why I didn't go somewhere warm, to a beach.
You're right.
I said...
Because you moved to Chicago.
Yes, and then went to New York for spring break in March.
You didn't know any better.
No, I did not.
It's okay.
Me, New York City. I went to like see my aunt who like lives there, who lives in like a suburb of New York. Turns out it was a very bad idea.
Suburb.
Yeah, a suburb of New York. Bad idea because she's trash.
Damn.
I do not like her. But it was so nice to like finally be in a city that you've only like seen in movies and only like read about in books, and like to actually be there.
Did it give you the movie experience?
It did, cause what I would like leave her house at like 7 or 8 a.m. and like take like the bus down, and then like I would just spend like all day there until like I would have to like be home for like a curfew at like 10 or 11 or something like that.
It's giving teenage drama.
I was very like main character syndrome, walking
Ashley
around.
And Mary Kay go to New York.
This was before like I had like an iPhone or anything. I had this like really shitty like starter phone, and this phone would like die very fast. So my first day in New York City, I accidentally left Grindr open on that phone, and my phone died in the first hour of me being there.
No, Grindr fixed that.
So
figure that out.
So I spent the entire I knew what time the bus was going back, and then like I just spent the entire day just like wandering New York without a phone, and it was honestly like so much fun.
Oh,
like,
I bet you were like so alert.
I was just like discovering things for what they were. Like I went in with a plan, and I could not do that plan. I was just wandering the streets of New York.
I could not, but that is really a New York story, you know.
Listen, it's also like the most me thing to happen.
The only thing that could have made that story more New York is if you were discovered as a supermodel.
I wish.
I mean, you are a supermodel.
Undiscovered supermodel.
Yeah, there we go. Undiscovered supermodel.
You discovered me.
That's true.
Should we tell people how we met?
Yeah. So we did a little competition together, and I was like, okay, I want to do this play, but I need like a cast of like sickening drag performers. And Abhijeet walks into this like performance. I think she was like last to go, right?
Yeah, because I like showed up late.
And she, it was like right after the Trump election, and she's standing up there fully dressed as the Eiffel Tower with
the Statue of Liberty, girl.
What did I say?
The Eiffel Tower.
I'm funny. She was fully dressed.
She's a French doll. You're Nikki doll.
Period. She's fully dressed as the Statue of Liberty, which is also French.
Yes.
Just so you know.
French doll.
And she has all of these like crazy words drawn on her, and she does this whole political number. And I was like, I need her in my show. So like at that moment, Abhi was my friend, like my best friend in my head, but it took her a minute to realize that we were best friends.
I didn't realize Bambi liked me. I was like, oh, she just wants to like work together. This like superstar wants to work with me.
I love you.
And but that's how we became best friends. So like, if you ever see me wear red, it's because she really brought me onto that. She cast me as Miss Scarlet for Clue, and I wore like a full red ensemble for like one of the first times, and I was like, this might be it.
This is the look.
This is the color.
This is the look.
And now I only wear red. Time.
I love that for you. I mean, she wears other colors.
I do wear other colors, but I'm Red Jan.
Not Red Jan.
Red Jan.
I love that for you, Jan Sickening. Hey, Jan.
Jan better be watching this.
As a marketing genius, because she is the marketing genius out here, what is some of your like greatest advice for the cannabis entrepreneurs out here? You know, the girls who are trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. First of all, cannabis companies work with black creatives. Like that part. Like not just like because like, you know, black people are disproportionately affected by former like marijuana laws and regulations, but because like black people in the United States are some of the most creative people, and for you to like not give them opportunities is like kind of weird to me. Like it's wild.
It's like really crazy.
Why would you not?
Like why would you not?
And like I don't mean to like, you know, like be like, oh my god, look at this corporation, but look at the way Ben and Jerry's like does their marketing and the way they like give back to the community.
What do they do?
Okay, so like Ben and Jerry's like has an ice cream that like I think like every like 420 some amount of like ice cream sales go towards like this organization that is used to like expunge the records of people with like marijuana charges. Yeah, so like actually like putting your money where your mouth is and like doing something to like help people that like are victims to this like very archaic law, because these laws are changing. So like why should people who are like affected by them like years ago still like face things like not being able to vote or like face like housing discrimination and stuff like that? Like that's
honestly wild.
Insane.
It's honestly crazy to me how hard it is for a lot of them to get on their feet just because of the law.
It's
as
so
if they want to
yeah.
keep them down, which
they do. Think outside the box. Like Bambi came together with this like really unique idea for like a baking show with like with cannabis, and like really branded and made it her own. I think that's like a really good path to take.
Oh my god, thank you.
You're like always have good ideas, but like, you know, like think outside the box, find like what relates to you and make that relatable to other people. Like don't follow a trend and do what other people are doing.
Individuality.
Yes.
Packaging, individuality, show your personality, everyone.
Listen, there's not to go back to Red Jan, but like there's a purple Jan, there's a blue Jan, there's a pink Jan, but there's only one Jan.
True.
Be the Jan.
Thank you so much, Abhi, for
Oh my
coming
god, thank you for having me
and hanging out with me.
I love you.
Book club is always fun with you.
Listen, we read.
We do. Every day, every morning. The newspaper.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, thank y'all so much for coming out. And if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe and be ready for next week's. Bye.
Bye.